thank you all very much for being here. I'm Alan Russell, Chairman of the Board of the Amigo Airshow for 2025, 2026, and beyond. So it's just my pleasure here to address this unfortunate situation. And to my right,
Ed Escudero. I'm on the executive committee of the Airshow.
So we want to talk about and address the difficult and disappointing situation that we're all facing. The community, the outreach has just been incredible. I'm surrounded here by most of the board of directors of the show, including representatives from MountainStar Sports Group, which is our title sponsor. Been so important and so engaging in this effort. Outside this room, there's a huge number of our performers, which is interesting. They came into town to support us. They've been here for a couple days, and they just said, we're not leaving. We're here to support this event. The disappointing part is the Airshow is focused on a couple of main things: blending the military and the civilian community together into one city. Because as we all know, El Paso is Fort Bliss. Fort Bliss is El Paso. And over the years, there's been a separation of our communities because of global events and difficulty, with the coordination of the military's deployment. And so the Airshow has been a bridge to bring that back together. Then the education component. The Airshow is not a one-time event. It is a year-long engagement in the community with education programs, children's camps for the science, and bringing young people into the sciences, and not just aviation or an aviation career, but engineering, aerospace, which is a huge future for our region. So it just is designed to bring all that together. So why is it shut down? The government has a mandate that during a shutdown, that engagement with community is not on their agenda. They're to pull back all civilian engagement and conduct themselves strictly as a military entity. So we are the only civilian air show on a military facility in the world. So we're in a different category. So if you're talking about an air show in general that is in another city, the options there are many, except they would lose their military assets. Some of the military demonstration teams, etc. In our situation, when the shutdown occurred, we knew that we would lose any military support from an aviation standpoint, but we were prepared for that. Our lead performers were a civilian jet team, so that didn't bother us. The entire stack of events was all civilian. There were no military pilots involved. Now, we did have CBP, some of their, it's Customs Border Protection, some of theirs, they're in a different category than the military, so we had some of those still online. So we didn't quite have the full lineup of military support, but we had an incredible show booked. So it gave us the confidence to continue. The issue of having the air show on the military base was addressed. We needed to get permission from higher up to make sure that we were cleared to do so. But we were encouraged. Because we didn't need the military pilots to have a show, it was full throttle. The show goes on, no matter what. So away we went. Everything is set up. 1,000 volunteers. The airshow staff, which only consists of 4, I might say. There are 4 paid staff that coordinates this entire event and puts together the board, and over and I say over 1,000 volunteers. It's a remarkable organization. So for months, this has been an organized effort. So at the field, all the setup continued. The chalets, the shades, the tents, the suppliers, the vendors, everybody that was going to be involved in an event which is going to have maybe 35,000 people a day was formulating and in place. So yesterday, there's a practice show where all the performers come out, the FAA is there, everybody gets together and discusses safety. Of course, in an event like this, safety not only for the performers, but safety for the crowd. And all of that was in place. And then from higher up, out of Washington, D.C., for reasons beyond the control of the Airsho or even the local Fort Bliss command, the decision was to shut it down. So then we go into damage control. How do we shut it down? How quickly do we shut it down? How do we do the right thing for everyone involved? And that's our now mission. That's our goal. This board and the volunteers have cowboyed up. Right now there are hundreds of volunteers at Biggs Army Airfield, Fort Bliss, taking down what was put up. It's a Herculean job. Normally this would happen on Monday after the show. So today, Saturday morning, is Monday from an Airsho standpoint. But it's chin up. I mean, we have an incredible show booked for next year already in place. The greatest performers, number one in the world, are the Navy Blue Angels, and they're going to be here with us next year. So 2026 is already in our minds. The board's already talking about it. We're going to do the right thing for everybody related to this cancellation of 2026. We don't have all those answers just yet, but we worked into the night. We're working on it, and we're here to support you. Ed?
No, I just want to add to that. We recognize the excitement that goes on in putting this on, and the tremendous time and investment by all. And I would tell you, our sponsors, our volunteers, our performers, the community, the amount of time that goes into this is amazing. And to see all this come together for the benefit of our community is what excites me to be part of this. So it's with great disappointment that I'm here, that I'm having to sit here with our team and with Alan to announce this and to tell you how still proud I am of how everybody has come together, and we're continue to look forward to next year as well and get past this because of the investment that has already been made and putting together on. So again, we're going to regroup and get ready for next year.
Now, the Airshow is a nonprofit, and like most nonprofits, a blow to the side of the ship financially is crippling. But I'll tell you, the outreach that we've already had from the community supporting MountainStar Sports' attitude toward this, everybody's just going, there's just some things we don't control, and this is one of them. So as a nonprofit, we're going to evaluate our financial position. The community will be stepping forward to help us. We will make arrangements with all of the people who've paid in advance. I believe actually anybody that bought a ticket for this show is going to be honored for next year's show, even though the price will go up for next year, as in everything does. The tickets you bought this year will be honored. And of course, if you need financial reimbursement, we're going to do the right thing and take care of everyone. So with that, next steps. We're all engaged. We blinked and we're back awake again. So we'll definitely open up and take any questions you might have, and let us tell you what we may have missed during this opening remarks. Yes, sir.
You mentioned the financial impact. You guys are, positive that this is going to continue going. So, for the years to come. So right now, have you been able to assess what this financial impact how it might affect the show next year? How might it affect the organization?
Well, we're fortunate in that the community support has given us a reserve fund. Anytime you have an event like this, I don't care if it's a wine festival or any kind of an outdoor event, you've got risk of weather, complications, whether it's security, etc. MountainStar Sports are experts at this. With the number of home games that they have issues all the time that require cancellations and readjustment. So they're teaching us how to do this. So financially, we're going to be okay.
You also mentioned that you guys have been preparing for a while, and even up until yesterday, that you guys were ready to go. However, were there any concerns prior to then, especially when the shutdown was a possibility that this could happen, or was it just really something that fell on your lap yesterday?
No, the hair stood up on the back of our neck when the shutdown occurred. And how does it affect us? So we immediately looked at our lineup and saw that without military support in the air show itself, we're golden. We're good to go. The idea that we wouldn't be able to do it on the base did require permission from the Department of War, basically. Local command, 2-star general, 3-star generals, 4-star generals all signed it off that it went to the next level and had to be ratified. We can't anticipate or understand all of the reasons and political matters that were involved in that decision. So we're not going to dwell on it. We're going to accept what's been handed down to us. Our relationship with Fort Bliss is better than it's ever been. Our goal of pulling the military community and the civilian community together into a community has worked. And difficult times even pull groups together even stronger. Last night, the Fort Bliss Command came to the field, embraced us all, hugged us all, gave us a pep talk and a pep rally, and reassured us that they were here, going to go to support it, and they were going to bat for this next year's show, 100%.
You mentioned how this had a financial impact on the organization. How much are you able to shed light on the economic impact overall to all the stakeholders involved for this event that was set to occur this weekend?
Well, not only had all the performers been paid, most of all of the chalet sponsors have been paid. The caterers, the vendors, suppliers, etc. We can't even estimate right now how much that financial impact is, but it's over 6 figures.
Now, this may be obvious, but can you just explain why, obviously we don't know how long the shutdown is going to go on for, but why it's not a matter of, maybe we can wait it out and perhaps next month just rearrange anything. If you can just explain the ins and outs of that.
Well, to think that the shutdown may be over next week and we could continue with the show is not reasonable, because the show has a momentum and a peak, and that was reached yesterday. So changing venues or changing the date is off the table. Too much energy, too much involvement in safety for patrons, everybody involved. So we know based on history, this shutdown is not going to last much longer. That's a broad statement. That I have I don't get a vote about that. But it most likely it's going to end, and we will revert back to normal operations.
Now, in terms of, sorry, that's my train of thought. I lost it, sorry.
That never happens to me. I'm sorry.
See if there's any other questions.
Yeah, they're working on it.
What's going to happen with all the 2025 merch?
Merchandise? Holy smokes. We don't have an answer to that. There's, this has been kind of a sudden operation. So there's a lot of questions we don't have answers to. But maybe Teresa has. Teresa's our CEO, and she definitely has an opinion.
I appreciate that you're mentioning our merchandise because it is fantastic merchandise that we have this year. War Eagles Museum is opening up tomorrow, and any ticket holder from our air show can go there, show their ticket, and then we'll have free access so they can experience aviation. Many of our performers that were going to be here, the ones that have stayed over, will be positioned there, and you'll be able to see the airplanes up close. Obviously, the War Eagles Museum itself is already fascinating with all the aviation that they have, and they will be selling some of our merchandise that we have here there at the museum.
There you go. You can tell who's in charge. Questions? Yes, sir.
Yes, just came back to me. Congresswoman Veronica Escobar in a statement yesterday saying, there's other military bases that are still going through with community outreach events. Your thoughts on that?
You got a thought on that, Ed?
No, I would tell you, we've been very fortunate that we've had full support from our Congresswoman, and she really helped anywhere she could in making sure that this event moved forward. Unfortunately, because of the type of event that we had here, our event was not able to proceed. But we've been so fortunate here in this community that we have support from our Congress people, from our military base, from Fort Bliss. So it's just the type of event that we are holding here.
She reached out last night. She spoke directly to General Taylor, and she reached out again this morning with her condolences to this group and to this board. She is, of course, our community advocate, and the people in this community is her priority.
Perhaps a message for the community. There was, the air show had been gone for a while. There was a lot of anticipation and growing. Obviously, there were some challenges last year, and now this coming in its second year. Kind of your message to the community, kind of now looking towards 2026.
Well, the important thing is that the thousands of volunteers are involved. Understand as they move out into this community that we are proud of what we did. The Airsho organization put together a spectacular event, flawless. It was incredible. We learned from the year before. You have an event and you fumble and stumble here and there. You pick up, you put those into your quiver for what you're going to do the next year, and it was amazing the way it came together. Everything was smooth and operational. So as we look forward into 2026, we're just going to be bigger, bolder. So I'm encouraging all of our volunteers. This is not. We shouldn't be disappointed. We shouldn't be depressed because we are strong. We did what we could do. It was events out of our control that turned this the opposite direction. And we have a thing among us. Anytime we're together, we solidify the concept that we are strong and we are Airsho.
Aside from the price being guaranteed, what other message do you have to people to hold on to their tickets for next year rather than getting a reimbursement?
Well, if financially, if you need a reimbursement, or you're in a situation where maybe you're not going to be, maybe you'll be deployed next year, or whatever the case may be, certainly we're going to do what's right. But I would hold on to those tickets. Probably save you $1 or $2 on next year's cost. We're an open book. We're transparent. You call us, engage us at any time. We'll tell you everything we know as we know it. All right? Thank you all.
Thank you.